check. K60 West Y Delta Mike 06 on 1296.100.
WA6AJ, WA6AJ, 6S, over. K6 Mike Italy.
K6MI, AA6S. Good evening, John, over.
Hi, Bill. Sounding good tonight, and I'm right on frequency. That's a nice thing. Aaron got me all plugged in with the unit that I bought a long time ago, and as Ken said, how come I didn't have it in there? Well, Aaron put it in a flash.
Yeah, sounds good. I just moved my antenna a little bit. I'm heading about 70 degrees and bouncing off the rocks. Go ahead.
All right, I'm just a little south of east, almost a direct path to you, not quite, but probably I'm bouncing off Bear Mountain and maybe catching you on a direct path as well.
Yeah, you're super strong, well over 9. My partner Michael here ought to be in here someplace because we always go down and get Ralph. And I know you want to pick him up too, John. Go ahead.
Yeah, do we have to go down 10 for that?
Yeah, we drop down 10. That would be messing the net up. Yeah, we go down 10.
Okay, let me know and I'll join you.
Well, usually about after we check in on the regular net. He's usually on at 15 to 8, what he says, but sometimes way earlier than that. But I got to see if I can pick up, and I know you could too get over there to whatever it is, the coast, you know, W62UI, Tascadero. If I only get the right name there, where he is. Ron, you could easily work Ron in the Tascadero. John, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I should be able to copy everything, and great fun. So you're sounding good. Did I hear you in there, Michael?
K6USY, and you're right on frequency, John, sounding good.
Oh, there's Aaron. Yeah, the dial says .10000.
Yep, yeah, you're
it says 102269.
Okay, yeah, I've got the GPS thing in there, and I've got 5 zeros.
Mike and I are going to have to get to those one of these days. I spent a few dollars today, so it might be another couple of months before I get one. Go ahead.
Right, yeah. Well, I talked to Jim, PQL, yesterday, and I have a package coming.
Finally going to get one of the amps?
Well, I've got his 160 watter. I'm using that right now, but the big boy is going to come.
Yeah, that's a must. They seem to work mighty good.
Well, we shall move up from 160 to 600 shortly.
Now, 1S unit.
Might even be 2S units. Well, yeah, you're right. 1S unit. 3 dB, 6 dB, 6 dB is 1S unit. Yep.
10-4 rubber duck.
Well, that might just make the difference talking to Ralph.
I'm sure of it. That way he'll be able to hear you because he's running about 250 out, I think.
Right, I did hear him, well, was that Friday? I don't know what band it was, but who's S1? Okay, now I'm confused. The last time I talked to him, he was just S1.
I'm going to point my antenna over towards Ron there at the coast and see if I can pick him up and then check in on the net. So it's coming around. I'll be going up, and going down.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mikey. AA6S. The antenna's going around. See if I can pick up Ron real quick.
I've been listening. Thank you. I got you checked in.
Roger, roger.
And K6USY 1079 and Bozo 1100 and John, who's on frequency now, got his Leo Bodner installed yesterday.
Okay, I got John 711. What did you say about yesterday?
I went over to John's house yesterday and got the Leo Bodner board into his 9700. So John's now frequency locked on this band.
Well, good, good. I heard you mention. I heard you talking about that. Okay. Well, let's see. I think everything's working here.
That's over.
Who's that? Oh, he's calling Ron, is he?
Yeah, he's calling over to the coast.
Let's see if Ron's in here. If he's not, I'm going to come back up to the point at you there, Mikey. For some reason, you're coming in good. I don't get it. Maybe we got some snow someplace. W62UI, AA6S, over. Nothing yet.
Do you got the rotor controller turned on yet?
Mean like that?
There it is. I see it now.
Now we're first looking here for KB6RQU. He was late last night. Strangely enough, he did check in finally. Rick was in there, but Rob was having trouble with him. He were very weak for some reason. I don't know why, but we did get Ron last night. Rick. See if Ben is in there tonight. N6SWR, N6SWR, K6MYC. No, okay, KB6RQU or anybody up and down the valley. Okay, WA6AAJ, are you here, Mike? Not yet. How about Frank? W6BBS? Boy, I'm missing out on a nice dinner. Matt's cooking squid. Ooh, fried squid. Ooh, good. Boy, is it looking good. I had a snack of it, and it was really good. I'm waiting to get done here quickly and get in and have my squid.
You don't want to miss out on that, Mikey. That's a fact. K6MYC, AA6S, and let me turn the power back up. It's not a make. I guess it makes a difference. Anyway, good talking to you there, Saturday there, Mikey. Excuse me. Real good seeing you there. K6MYC, and Judy's probably logging AA6S 800, over.
Yeah, Roger, we got you, and I take it you did not hear Ron. He said he would be there, but we might want to give him another 5 minutes or so. But yeah, likewise, we enjoyed the conversation on Saturday, Bill. Very much a good conversation without hardly any interruption, so it was good. Did you say Ron was there or not?
No, he didn't come back to me. I'll try him later before we go to pick up Ralph there. Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, very good. There was something else I was going to tell you about the flea market or something related to that, but that's not coming to me. It'll come to me when when you turn away. Anyway, I didn't hear your partner in crime in here yet, KWA6AAJ, but I'm sure he'll be here. We might even hear some others in the Fresno area. Hopefully we get Kerry in here. Haven't heard Kerry for quite a while. KC5DTU, Kerry, are you floating around? Okay, no floats from Kerry. Trying to think about, we got a couple of new 1296 stations. I'm not pointed that way yet, but we'll be over toward Madera in a little bit here, and maybe we'll pick up N6 LED, our new guy in Madera. We had a chance to meet Bruce on the weekend and his gal, and they were very They seemed like they were having fun and enjoying it, and we're very happy to have them in the team, so to speak, here. Okay, and good evening to you, Aaron, and your partner there, Brittany. Let's see, something happened today. What was it that happened today? Darn it. Oh, I guess we had leaves like you can't believe everywhere on the patio. Everywhere there was leaves packed into everything. And I went out there with Matt, has a nice lithium battery-operated blower, and instead of trying to broom the whole patio off, I blew it off. I blew it into little piles. A leaf blower is almost like a rake if you use it right, and you can blow the leaves into a reasonable-sized pile and then finish it up with a broom. So that's what I did. I made about 10 little piles all over the patio and down by the pool and got my leaves all picked up. And I was going to do the bandstand and and the gazebo, and the batteries ran out on the blower, so I had to stop that. Oh, darn. Anyway, let's see who else we have in here. Bozo Net 1296. Who do we have tonight? K6MYC. Oh my God, I'm overwhelmed with the applause.
Oh, you got Aaron and me and Mike and Bill all checked in?
Yes, I do, John. Good evening.
Okay, all's well then.
All is well, you betcha. And boy, oh boy, Trump's moving at a record pace. He's got half of his cabinet picked already. I like the Secretary of Defense pick, Pete Hegseth. Boy, he's going to be a good one. And the gnome guy, home guy, I guess. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. The guy is going to be he was the original ICE guy, and he's going to take over Homeland Security. Boy, oh boy, he's going to rip and snort and take care of the bad guys. I'm speaking of bad guys that are really the bad guys. You know, we got 30,000 criminals alone in amongst our illegal entrance to the country, and got to get rid of those guys first. Mass deportation is going to take a while. We're not trying to be mean to anybody, but we got to get the bad guys out first. That's for sure, and I think that's what he's aiming at. It's being distorted badly by the View. Oh, we're going to get my grandmother. No, we aren't going to get your grandmother. She's second, not first. All right, QRZ, Bay, up and down the San Joaquin Valley, Bozo Net check-ins 1296, K6MYC. Where's old Rob tonight?
I don't know. Where's Michael? AAJ type. I talked to him on the phone about an hour and a half ago. About an hour ago, I guess.
Well, he must be all watching Gutfield.
I don't know. He's supposed to be here, but so far he's a no-show.
I'm hoping that one of these days we get Tom back. He hurt his back, you know. He's been laid up with a back injury, and I hope that it must be pretty serious, or he'd be making his way to the ham shack. I know something like that. If I could crawl, I would still be getting to the ham shack, I think.
Maybe he was lifting some big antennas.
Yeah. I'm going over all kinds of subject matter because I'm trying to remember what it was I was going to tell you. It's escaping me. It's just flirting with me.
Oh, wait, Tyler, tell me something I should have bought and I didn't buy anything.
Well, you already got everything. What do you give a man that's got everything? I know what I would like if I could get one more thing. I'd like to have my eyesight back.
I can only say a few prayers for that and everybody else. I know what you mean. That is scary. That's why I like talking to you there and you know, just yakking. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't need anything. I'm trying to get rid of some stuff. In fact, I'm gonna find out when this Collins net is on and put on this 30S1 I got for somebody that wants to make it go. I'm not going to do it. I've got a half a dozen amplifiers, and I don't even have any place to set it on the floor, so I want to get rid of it. It'll be cheap for somebody who knows what they're doing.
Well, those people are becoming harder and harder to find, and when you find them, they can't stand up and they haven't got any eyesight anymore.
Well, that's how we're all getting. Most guys know how to push buttons on the computer, but I don't know how to do that. But I can make an amplifier work, and I built plenty of them when I was young, and I built all kinds of high-end audio, hi-fi stuff there after I retired. And I guess I'm going to have to build me one more because I'm going to sell mine, and this friend of mine gave me a set of Macintosh output transformers. So I'm going to brew up a Mac circuit and use the transformers. I'm going to use it because it's a lower power amp. It's about 40 watts. I don't need 100 watts per channel. With JBL speakers, about 1 watt will blow you out of the house.
Yeah, sounds good. I've got my relatives up in Seattle are into all kinds of antique stuff. Like I was telling you, they like the tube sound on audio because it has the harmonics that some of the solid state is too clean. It's actually too clean. It doesn't make the music sound good. Well, it doesn't make it sound worse. It just doesn't have the added tones that you get with the tubes and the microphonics and stuff. Anyway, anybody else wanting to check in here? We're missing BBS, BBG, KM6SRR, OIB, N6BYH, KC5DTU, WA5, WA6AAJ. Where the hell is everybody?
I don't know. I'm not hearing anybody. Yeah, one problem with transistor amplifiers, they have TIM distortion, transient intermodulation distortion. Some people like that. They have third harmonic distortion, but tubes have second. So that's just a little bit of the stuff. But what you want to do is look at a triangle waveform through a transistor amplifier and a few other things. But that's just best to use your ears. Mikey, go ahead.
Yeah. Are you talking about crossover distortion? That was a big problem in the solid state stuff. Originally, they had a little crossover where it went from negative to positive. There was always a flat spot in there. Over.
No, this is transient intermodulation distortion. Distortion from a transient. That's completely different from second and third harmonic and all that stuff. It's another type that they don't talk about. Go ahead.
We put Trump in charge of it. We won't have any more transients.
I hear the ones that were coming turned around and they're heading back.
Okay.
As soon as Trump got elected, they said, "We know he's going that far. We have to go farther back."
Yeah, I guess so.
You can always put them in a C-147 or whatever it is, and just open the back gate and just push them out.
There you go. Okay, well, I guess we should give Ron one more try. You swing toward, it's pushing toward 7:45 here, so you should push toward Ralph. Say hello to Ralph for us. Hopefully he's in a good mood and isn't married to a woman that wants to divorce him and stock up on abortion pills.
Anyway, I'm coming around. I'll get over there towards Ralph and see if I'll drop down 10.
All right, give me a call when you get back. I'm going to head toward the Bay Area. AA6 Sugar and Visalia, K6MYC, Bozo Net beaming now. I'm going to go around toward Santa Cruz and thereabouts. I go right by Ron down there, Ron W6QUI. I'm passing through your neighborhood. And listen up for Bill. And I'm heading on up to Santa Cruz and San Jose in that area. There we coming up there now to just about where I want to be. KW6 Sugar, Tom, have you managed to make it back into the shack since from your back injury? Over. Nothing from Tom. Okay. Anybody else copying me in the Bay Area? KD6S. Okay. How about you, Fred? Yours, Ed. 12. K6 Bozo Net, beaming the Bay Area, K6MYC. K6MYC, Central California, beaming toward San Jose, Santa Clara, and parts in between and beyond for the 1296 Bozo Net, K6MYC.
On frequency, Jim, wrong frequency.
Okay, I hear W6PQL. We'll come up more in your direction in a second. Who was the other one? B6JNN. I hear you, Jim. Somebody else was in there. Who was the other one? Okay, well, let me put down 285. 285, pick it up. Let me see if I can peek on you, Jim. WB6JNN, K6MYC.
K6MYC, WB6JNN. And good evening. Cold over here, and our furnace go out. That's no water because they were working on that. The pipe was too rusty to use, so they're having to dig out a trench for a while and try to find a better piece of pipe. Just having fun over here, spending money. WB6J.
Okay. Did you get your heater problem resolved on the short term over?
I got the heater going, but it's 20 years old, so we got it when my wife's mother was still alive, so it's at least 20 years old. And I think we got it a few years after we came, so maybe 22, 23 years old. It's probably time to change it out.
Well, there's really no moving parts in a heater except for maybe the fan. I don't imagine why it would be worn out by this time. Most of the time they last a lot longer than that, so something else may be at fault there. I don't know if you want to bring in an expert and have you be charged $1,000 to have them tell you that the thermostat's bad or something. Okay, well, hopefully you'll get it. I'm going to close the door to the shack here. I've got the cat in here, and the cat is keeping me company on and off.
By the way, Jim was trying to get to QIW on CW. He just was on the wrong frequency. I'm not sure why doing it at this time because it's...
Yeah, well, I know it's coming up around 8 o'clock. You're going to go to QIW, you and Jim. Let me get up to Jim and get him in there quickly. W6PQL, take it. I'll peek on you. K6MYC.
Okay, Mike, I'm not sure that on me, you were a little bit louder, I think, when you're on him, but it's just the band. Go back and forth a little bit and see if you can pull in a little bit better. But anyway, you're good copy here. Not very strong tonight, but good copy nonetheless. K6MYC, W6PQL.
Well, I just have to point at you, and that's better, isn't it?
Yeah, that's S7, S8. Pretty nice.
Okay. And not a whole lot new. It was cold here today, man. It never did warm up. Bright and sunny, clear sky all day, and I don't think it broke 60. If it got to 60, I sure didn't feel like it. It was cold. I worked up a sweat blowing and raking and picking up leaves all over the patio and all over the backyard. I finally had to go in. I was actually sweating, but it was cold. But I had a jacket on, so I was sweating underneath the jacket. Had to go in and change my shirt. I came in the house, I'm soaking wet. Had a soaking wet T-shirt on my backside. So I changed my clothes, and then it felt a lot better. But it was cold and never did warm up. But nice sun, so it kind of took the edge off of it having a bright sun all day long. Anyway, good evening to you, and we'll look for you a little bit later on the way back around to see if you worked Steve down there. I know Jim's anxious to try that as well. W6PQL, K6MYC. Might stay long enough to see if Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie is here, over.
Okay. Number 775, are you in here?
KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie 775, your Q5, so go ahead and take one, and I may be able to squeeze a little bit more out of you. K6 MYC Bozo Net, over.
Mike, are you hearing Mikey?
Yeah, I'm doing it. Everybody else is up there? Yeah, I heard Mikey very well. Thank you. And to report either, but let's see. Monday we had a half inch of rain, but we had full skies tonight.
Okay, KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, K6 MYC. Jim and Mike, not very good copy because you're sounding hollow. I'm getting you on a side scatter path, and you sound like you're talking down a gun barrel. So it's very hollow sounding, that really weird propagation tonight. It's quite strong, quite a reasonable signal strength, and it would be perfectly Q5 if it wasn't for the path distortion. Anyway, great to have you in here. Thanks very much for always trying to get a signal through from Daly City up there. Hi. That's a tough path. If you were put antennas at 50 or 100 feet, it would probably be better. Anyway, thank you, Mike, and thank you, Jim, for sticking around. Let's see if there's anybody else. KT2G, Mark is back in town. He did check in last night at the end of the 6-meter net. So he's back in town, and he's usually got a pretty good signal here on 1296, so I should be able to hear Mark unless something broke while he was in Italy. Let's see, KT2G, Mark, are you here? K6MYC, over.
K6MYC, KD6SOK.
KD6SOK, I got you, Fred. Good evening, your Q5, not bodacious, but reasonable. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Mike. Yeah, signals aren't that great tonight on 1296. It's conditions aren't optimal, but I do hear you, and you're solid as Q5 as well. So just the conditions, and it's getting really cold. It's going to be a cold night. Had a lot of rain yesterday, and today it's just sunny and cold. Back to you, Mike.
Yeah, cold in here too, but we had bright sun all day, not a cloud in the sky all day long. We have snow visible in the Sierras to the east of us. Nice snow-filled mountains. Are not covered completely, but we got a pretty good dusting up in the Sierras, so that was good. We got 1/16 of an inch. 1/16 of an inch, or 0.062 of an inch. 0.062 of an inch of rain. Over.
Wow, that's not a lot of rain. Yeah, we got a half an inch. We got a half an inch up here, so what you got was not too much. But hopefully we'll get more in the next coming weeks or so.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you got the half inch. It sure didn't get over here. Anyway, it's happening in certain areas. We're in the we're in the black hole, I think, here, Fred. Anyway, good to hear you. Thanks for checking in. And we'll see if Mark is there. You probably should be able to hear Mark up there in Los Altos. So let me see if he was there. He checked in last night, but he was very late. He was very late on 6 meters, so maybe he's still on European time there. I don't know. Anyway, KT2G, Mark, are you in here tonight? K6MYC, over. Okay, maybe he hasn't changed his clocks over yet. Is there anybody else in the Bay Area? WA6AXX, how about you, Ed? I heard somebody in there. Give me a longer call. You're not readable. Somebody else can help me. Who was that? Anybody know who that was? Make a call again. Make a call again. Give her your Bozo number. Bozo number. Bozo number. Over. QRZ again. I heard a voice. I did hear a voice in there, and it wasn't anybody I recognized. Try it again. Try it again. K6MYC Bozo Net 1296. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hello, this is Kilo 6 Whiskey India Sugar.
I hear hear you, Paul, on the backscatter path, K6WIS 637. Good evening. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Mike. K6NYC in the group. This is Kilo 6 Whiskey India Sugar Placerville. Yeah, your signal just jumped up. It's been up and down, sometimes as low as Q3, but your Q5 now S2. So I thought I'd jump in there. I wonder how you are receiving me. Over.
Perfect copy, Q5. Probably was just where I had the antenna. But no, you're very easy copy, and I bumped through a couple of degrees of change here, and you didn't change much. You came up a little bit more, but seems to be a nice broad opening this evening. Do you have any other check-ins to pass on, Paul? Over.
Yes, I do. KR6MR, John, up in Meadow Vista. I had a brief QSO with him just before you aimed towards the Bay Area. Over.
Okay, well, he probably will be in there, and I'll try to work him. Hopefully we'll have some propagation to John this evening, but I've got him written down. He has been checked in, so if we miss him, he's still checked in here. Thank you for that, and I guess nothing from the Clear Lake guys. No Clear Lake check-in tonight?
Not on 1296. They no longer operate on that band, over.
Yeah, that's too bad, but it is a tough band, even on 2 meters, so I can see why they would be reticent to keep trying there. It's a shame, though, because it's an area we'd like to keep activated. I wish somebody would come back on the air with a decent location over there up a little bit so they didn't have to always work in a hole. Anyway, Paul, good evening. I'm going to come your way very shortly. I've just pretty much milked the Bay Area drive for the moment. Come up to Oakley and then Sacramento, and then we'll be pointed at you. So we'll try the direct path as well tonight, Paul. K6 Whiskey India Sierra and La Placerville area, K6MYC.
Okay, Roger, Mike. I hope we...
KM6SRR.
Roger.
KB6PS.
A6S break.
QSB.
Hang on, Bill.
Check Ralph, and he was extremely strong here. I'm not hearing any of the other guys. Of course, they're not pointed at me. Anyway, check him in. I'll get out of here. AA6S.
Okay, thank you, Bill. AA6S. You didn't never hear QUI, huh?
Nope, didn't hear him.
All righty. I guess he said he was going to be here. So we may try one more time, but I know you don't have to stick around, but maybe if Frank comes in, and Rob sometimes hears him down there when I cannot hear him. So we'll try for QUI one more time before we close the net. Thank you, Bill. AA6 Sugar, got to go jab your partner with a pointy stick, K6MYC.
Yeah, Roger. I'm going to turn my antenna towards Ron and see if he's in one more shot.
All righty. Now, let's see. I had, who did I have in here? KM6SRR. Good evening, Rob. You're kind of weak. Where are you pointed?
Well, I thought it was pointed over to the Bay Area, but I moved it back so I could hear the Atascadero. We had quarter-inch of rain last night, and my weather thing tells me the high today was 58. Over.
Okay. You got rain last night? I didn't get any rain last night.
No, the last big storm, you got a little bit, we got a quarter-inch. Over.
Oh, no, I got a 16th of an inch. It wasn't enough to even raise the float, so we're guessing it somewhere around a 16th of an inch. It wasn't a 10th. Over.
Roger. Yep, we definitely got a quarter-inch. Over.
Well, that's good. Could you come up on frequency on the next couple of overs there? You're way low. You're way down here in Never Land. So come on up about 50 cycles, and you'll be okay. Make my voice higher pitched, and that'll make yours lower, I guess. No, vice versa. Make mine lower pitched, and that'll make yours higher pitched. Over.
Okay, I don't have a lot of selection on this radio. It makes a big jump to where it doesn't sound right. Over.
Well, that was good enough jump. It'd probably jump in 50 hertz or 10 hertz jumps That radio does jump, but it has a pretty fine tune condition. There's a fast tune and a slow tune. Have you discovered that?
No, I just turned the big dial over.
Well, there's a way to get it to tune slower, so you might poke around and see, but you don't have to worry about it right now. You're right on the right frequency now. All right, let's see. We got you in here. Anybody else left in the Bay Area? Bay Area, one last check. K6MYC Bozo Net.
KV6B100.
Yeah, I knew you were in there, Oliver. I wrote you in. Already checked in, and I forgot you already. KB6BA, take one. A nice signal. Go ahead.
Yeah, last day of nice weather and maybe rain tomorrow. I went out for a hike today. Nothing too much else to report. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Well, we didn't get much rain on, what was it, Monday? Monday it was supposed to rain, and it did. Everything according to predictions. All we got was a very high wind for about an hour. Blew 2x4s all over my yard and in my barn. I had 2x4s stacked up, and it blew them over. So it was really whipping through here, and I got leaves everywhere. And we got a whole 1/16 of an inch of rain. Over.
Yeah, enough to get the ground wet, but not muddy during my hike, so maybe more to come.
Well, let's hope so. Anyway, thanks for checking in. A very nice, strong signal over here this evening there, Oliver. We got your 900. Thanks much. And you might, let's just take one more standby so I'm still in the Bay Area. Maybe KT2G over in Los Altos is in here. He did check in last night on 6 meters, but very late. So I don't know whether his clocks haven't been changed yet or whatever. But KT2G, Mark, are you hearing me there in the Bay Area? Over. I'm surprised he isn't in here. Maybe something happened to the antenna system while he was in Europe. His mother passed away in Italy, and I think he was back there for quite a while doing business and also taking care of some issues there. So he's back, and he was very weak on 6, but we did work him. And he indicated that 1296 was okay. I thought he said he'd be on 1296 tonight, so I guess maybe I'll check again later. All right, 73. Good evening to you, and enjoy the coolish weather. It was bright and sunny here, but never got up to the 60 mark.
Yeah, can't complain. See you next time, KB60.
Well, I could complain, but no. I worked up a sweat. I was out working out so hard, and I got to come in and change my shirt because I was actually getting cold because I was wet. I had a jacket on, and I sweat in my T-shirt underneath the jacket, and I was just soaking wet. Took my T-shirt off. My body was just wet on my back. So I just can't stop the summer sweating yet. I'll acclimate by the time spring comes, and then I'll have to figure out how to learn to sweat again. 7-3, good evening, Oliver. KB6BA, K6MYC. Anybody else in the Bay Area? How about Ed? WA6AXX? No, nothing. Okay. He was sick earlier, but I thought he got over the cold, so I don't know where he's been. All right, I'm going to go to Oakley, guys. We'll be in the Bay Area one more time for late checks and missed and pick up whatever Jim did with QIW. Here we go. How about it, Ken? N6 Radio Oakley, K6MYC.
K6MYC, N6RO, how copy?
Booming signal, good solid signal, no flutter, no nothing. You sound really terrific tonight, as opposed to last night. Over.
Yeah, you're the loudest I've ever heard on this band. Putting the meter up to F6 or so. N6RO is Bozo 835. Dinner was lamb chops and spinach. And I don't know if it's a universal tradition, but I had mint jelly. It's a family tradition for sure. My father used to call it frog spit. How's that?
Well, that doesn't sound very appetizing, but that's I can think of a few other terms. No, lamb with mint is typical. I think it was used originally because lamb's a little greasy, and the mint mint jelly tends to melt the grease a little bit, and you don't get that greasy aftertaste. It's not very bad anymore, but in the early days, when we didn't know how to cook lamb, and probably lamb was a little greasier anyway, I think that was the reason why we all used mint, to kind of just give us a palate refresher over.
That makes sense. I usually follow it with red wine, or precede it with red wine. So that does make sense on the chemical part of that. High temperature today was 61, and it's a very nice day, sunny and all that. But I had to run the heater for a few hours. But that's what we get for almost December. So we'll see you on the 2-meter tomorrow, N6RO.
Yes, we will. We'll see you on 2 meters tomorrow, and I'm sure it'll be good propagation on 2 with you and I anyway. Missing quite a few members tonight down south, but we've got a pretty good list of people out of the Bay Area tonight, so I'm happy about that. Anyway, let's see, there was something else, but it's not coming to mind. Doesn't matter. Dinner. I'm going to have Matt's cooking fried squid, really delicious, with the batter or whatever he put on the squid is really good. I just had a sample. He was just starting to take it out of the pan at 25 after 7, and I just couldn't stay. So I'll go back in and have my dinner after a bit. And I don't know what the vegetables will be, but they'll be good. Last night we had some kind of weird bean, Portuguese bean or something, but he chopped up some almonds and some other stuff on the beans, and boy, they were just delicious. Little skinny beans about the size of a 3/16 rod, of a VHF antenna. But boy, they were good, and just smothered with chopped up almond chips and something else he put on it, and a little butter. Boy, whew, good stuff. He's trying to be a cuisine cook, and he's doing good. He just loves to experiment with that stuff. He really gets a kick out of cooking, which is good. He needs something to get his mind off all the stuff at work. All right, see you tomorrow, Ken. Good evening to you for now. N6 Radio Oscar. Anybody else that hears me now, check in, please. K6MYC.
Okay, Mike. The band is really up and down. It went down about 4S units, but it's still Q5. Yeah, sounds like Matt is really Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow night at 6
Holy cow. Yeah, you went from 10 over 9 down to nothing here. Really strange. I may have you on the edge here. Let me see. I may have gone a little bit past you. Let me come back a little bit. Is that any better? That's weird. You were very strong, and then you just rocked and rolled right out of the picture. There's 550 watts at you, so it's just the band conditions. 7-3, we'll see you tomorrow. N6RO, K6MYC going to Sacramento.
You're back up to S4 or 5, so it's a weird band.
Oh, boy, for sure, for sure. Let's see if John is in here. KR6MR, KR6MR. If I can hear you, I'll find you somewhere there, John. KR6MR, K6MYC. Over. Really herky and jerky, but it's Q5, and John, I went past you a little bit. I didn't go far enough for you. The path is a little funny tonight. I'm clear up at 340 I'm at 341 degrees, about 6 degrees further than normal, but maybe I've lost calibration here. In any case, good to hear you on this band for a change with some more than 1.5 words at a time. Hi. Back to you, and we already had you checked in because Paul said you were on here, but it's good to hear your voice. KR6MR, K6MYC, over.
Roger there, Mike. Listening to check me in. I also was getting a good on the Alpha 65, 40. Over.
I missed a little bit at the end. You dropped out for about 10 seconds there. You dropped out of nothing. So I missed the last little bit, but I got you checked in. Over.
Roger. I had good copy with Alpha, Mississippi. Good copy in Frequent. Over.
Just stay with me a second. I'm going to try an experiment here. I can put this radio on Bluetooth. Because Judy's normally in here, I listen on the speaker. But now I've got you on Bluetooth. So let's see if I can copy any better on Bluetooth. KR6MR for one more transmission. K6MYC, over.
Okay, Mike. On your Bluetooth, KR6MR, I was saying I had good copy with Alpha 6 Sugar. Alpha 6 Sugar tonight, over.
Oh, very good. Okay. Yeah, well, he had a good signal. He's running 600 watts there in a quad of 23 CM22s like you have. He has the same antenna, I think, that you have, and about 600 watts there from the PQL amp. So there you go. And on that, and I'll pass that information on to him perhaps tomorrow. He's already signed out today, but he did work Ralph down in the LA area for me, so he checked in with that. Thanks, John. Good evening to you, and I'll go up toward Nevada, but I don't expect to hear anybody. Maybe I'll get Daniel, but I don't think Daniel's put his antennas back up. I suspect they got snow up there in Nevada because we have snow in the Sierras here. We can look to the east and had a night dusting of snow on the Sierras here this afternoon. It was very beautiful out to the east. And so while we did not get any rain here, we got 1/16 of an inch. 1/16 of an inch, or 0.062 of an inch of rain here, almost nothing. It did snow in the Sierras. Hi. 7-3, John. We'll see you tomorrow. KR6MR, K6MYC.
Nevada. KR6MR,
7-3. How about KE6ILX? Jeff, are you in here by any chance this evening? 96, KE6ILX. Over. Nothing heard. How about K6 Whiskey India Sugar? How about K6WIS on the direct path? Paul, over. Yes, it's about Q3. Readability 3 with very, very rapid QSP, up and down, very rapid QSP. Difficult copy, but we've got you. But much better on the bounce path, Paul. Much better on the bounce path. 73s, thanks for the radio check here. K6 Whiskey India Sugar Placerville, K6MYC. Over. Okay. 7-3. Boy, I had to wait. You took a dive right at the end, and I lost the end of it. Anyway, 73, Paul, 7373. Thanks for the check. One more check for KE6ILX. Jeff, are you there? Nothing heard from Jeff. Okay, I'm going to Nevada, Okay, let's see. In Nevada, we got Nevada. How about you, Larry? N7 Whiskey Tango, N7WT. N7 Whiskey Tango, N7WT, K6MYC. Kilowatt 6 Mike Yankee Charlie, KE7UQL, Kilo Echo 7 Uniform, Quebec, London. Don't know whether you put your antenna back up or not yet, Daniel. KE7UQL or N7WT, K6MYC. Over. Oh boy, I'm a little late here. I thought, Rob, you're not keeping me on time here. I should have been here 10 minutes ago. KM6SRR, let's just chatter a minute and see if the path comes back. Maybe it's there, but maybe we have to wait for it. KM6 Sugar Radio. And I don't know where Frank is. Maybe Frank woke up this morning, had no power, no nothing. And so he did not come down here today. He stayed home to work on his problem. And I don't know whether he solved it or not. I was thinking maybe he hasn't solved the problem because he is not in here. KM6SRR, K6MYC. Maybe Rob went down to catch dinner. I wonder, anybody copying me at all here? K6MYC. I think I'm still on the right frequency. I haven't touched the knob.
Yeah, you're still good, Mike.
Okay, thank you, Aaron. I don't know where Rob went. Anyway, I'll try one more time for the guys in Nevada, but they've been Larry's sort of not hearing well lately on 1296, and I think his whole system is deteriorating. But he says he's getting old. He's in his 70s, and he just can't climb anymore. So it's liable to be one of those things where he has to try and get somebody over there to help him. And sometimes that never works. Anyway, KE7UQL, N7 Whiskey Tango, K6MYC, Bozo Net. Over. I'm not getting a hint of signal. Lately, I've been hearing Daniel every time, even though he's not sometimes readable. I know he's enough in there to be counted. And then sometimes he comes up real strong. Usually does. But I can normally hear him in almost every transmission, at least enough to know he's there. I'm not hearing him, and the last thing I heard was that he did not have the antennas up yet. So I guess we're done. I'm going to go back to the Bay Area for late checks and missed, and then we'll call it a night, Aaron.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, just hanging out. K6USY.
Okay, this is sort of toward the Bay Area. Late checks are missed. K6MYC, Bozo Net. Anybody? Calling KT2G. We know you're in there somewhere. Mark, I know you're home. KT2G, K6MYC, over. KT2G, K6MYC, or anybody else in the Bay Area. Late checks are missed. K6MYC.
Alpha 6, Juliet, Kilowatt, November, Kevin Gilroy.
Yeah, very good. Hi there, Kevin. WA6JKN, K6MYC. Let me get give me a little more chatter, and I'll bring the antenna down your way, over.
Roger, roger. Yeah, signal seems way up. I was on it about an hour ago. What time is it? Yeah, about 45 minutes ago or so. I'm still running at 9,700 barefoot. So what? If I'm lucky, I got about 5 hours into the 60, and that's up about 30 feet or so. K6MYC, WA6JKN.
Yeah, WA6JKN. I was pushing back and forth on you, and if you gave your Bozo number, I missed it. So if you would give me your Bozo number there, Kevin, over.
Yeah, 1053, 1053, 1053, 1053. QSL?
1053.
QSL.
Okay, 1053. Gotcha. And good to hear you in here this evening. Thanks very much for being there. I thought it would be stronger. I know you've got the antenna up a little bit higher and more in a permanent condition, but for some reason tonight it's not blowing me away over here. But at least your 10 watts is getting through, so we can't complain. I heard you right off the bat, even pointed toward the Bay Area, so that's what it takes. I'm peaked on you now, but I didn't get much of a peak. I was pretty close before. You're peaking right where you should on my readout here. Some of the signals I'm hearing tonight are skewed as much as 6 and 7 degrees. One guy was skewed 7 degrees, and I was just about to recalibrate, and I'm glad I didn't, because you're right where you should be. Go figure. Anyway, good to hear you. I'm sorry I missed you before at the beginning. We on 1296, since I don't have anybody to the south of me, I normally start pointed at you or at Santa Cruz. I don't know where I started today. I think I started south, but normally I wouldn't have done that. I think it was just left over from Sunday night or something. But normally I start pointed at you or 270 toward the west. So that's when you should be in there early. And I'm not usually very late. I should be here within the first 10 minutes, 7:30 to 7:40 easily in your direction. So there you go. Anyway, back to you for a final. And again, thanks very much. One of these days, maybe you'll find a way to get a little more steam on there. Hi. WA6JKN Gilroy, K6MYC.
Okay, Mike, solid copy. You're about an S1 to about 1.5. Signal strength, not very strong, but I do copy 100%. Q5. Yeah, surprised you're even hearing me at all. I did tweak my gain back and forth, and I should be on your feet. I also played with the elevation just for giggles, you know. And didn't seem to make a difference. The further I got away from 0 degrees elevation, your signal disappeared. That big much movement, I'll tell you that. 735 to 73 you. Thank you very much for being there. K6MYC, WA6JKN.
Okay, now that your radio's warmed up a little bit, come down 20 hertz. You're bassy sounding. Your audio is very bassy, so come down 20 hertz, and you'll be much easier to copy if you're on frequency, over. Yeah, you went the wrong way. Apparently you're low by 20 hertz, so come up now, go up 40. Go up about 40, over.
Okay,
I went up 40. Is that better?
Yeah, almost perfect. You could be high by 5 cycles, but it's not bad, not too bad at all. So good. So that's where you are. You might want to drop it back 5 cycles, but that seems to be where 1296 is. I'm GPS locked, so we're definitely right on 1296.100, over.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I know this 9700. It doesn't have any locking mechanism or anything like that. It's just right out of the factory. No special gizmos attached, and it seems to really make a difference up here on 1296. Over.
Yeah, actually, come back down another 5 or down 10 or something, down 10 hertz maybe, and that'll put you, you're still a little high pitched now, and now I'm having more trouble. You were actually better copy when you were low pitched, so for some reason, I don't know why, but maybe it's because of the way you've got the audio tailored there. When we get better signals from you, maybe we can get you to equalize and get rid of some of the bass, but let's see what it sounds like if you come down 10 hertz. WA6JKN Gilroy, K6MYC, over.
Okay, so I changed it. Am I going in the right direction? Over.
No, went the wrong way. Let me give you some chatter. It seems like all you should have to do is tune my voice so it sounds normal. And but maybe that's where the problem is. Maybe you don't know what my voice sounds like, but you don't want ducky sound, and you don't want too bassy. You don't want me way down here because I'm not down there. So this is a kind of a normal tone of voice for me. And the other way to fix this is to listen to yourself on the live stream. If you listen on the live stream, I don't know if you're strong enough to be heard or to hear yourself, but I think you can hear yourself on the live stream. WA6JKN, K6MYC, over. I'm not getting any readability on you now at all. The signal dropped way down. That may be just conditions. It may be conditions, but I can't read you at all now, so I don't know whether you're on frequency or off. I cannot read you now at all. Over, over.
Okay, 73, Mike, 73. Bad conditions have changed. I'll shut down the station. 73, WA6JKN.
Okay, well, I got you now. That was Q5. That's still a little bit high-pitched. You're high-pitched. That doesn't mean you're high in frequency. It probably means you're low in frequency. So you may want to come. Yeah, the first thing you did, you overshot twice the wrong direction. So now you got to go back in that wrong direction, but only a very tiny bit. So 10 hertz or something. Just 10 hertz down, and you'll be right on. Anyway, 7.3, we can diddle this on another night when we've got better signals from you. 73s for now. WA6JKN, K6MYC, clear, and bye for anybody else that may be still lurking around on the Bozo Net here.
Hey, Mike.
Say it again. You got doubled up on. Say it again. Okay, KT2G. Now I hear you. Let me come up on your frequency. Give me a longer call, Mark. Give me a longer call. I'll come up on you here. KT2G, K6MYC, over.
Hi, good evening. Good evening, Mike. K6MYC. This is Kilo Tango 2 Golf. I see on the live stream that you're pointing more or less in my direction. Probably you need to go a little bit more south. Just a little bit more south. But yeah, maybe you should be homed into by now.
No, I got you fine. I'm not truly necessarily calibrated here, but I've got good signal on you now, Mark. Good evening. We called you earlier. I'm glad that you finally figured out that it's not it's 8:30, not 7:30. Anyway, give me your Bozo number. I still don't have it in my head. I think it's 863, right?
That is correct, 863. Yes, I usually have a hard time coming in early. You know, I have to fix dinner and clear away before coming upstairs to the shack. But I'm glad I made it just by a hair.
Yeah, well, I figured you'd be late. I knew you got in very late last night on 6 meters. And so I figured you'd be late, and that's why I came back here, and I didn't mind chatting away with the fellow in Gilroy. I don't know if you're hearing him. He's got a 9710 watts also, but you may not hear him at all because he's pointed toward me, and you're on the back side of the beam, and you're also sheltered by some hills along the coastal range there. But great to hear you. Welcome back. Are you going to be? Do you have pretty much all your mother's issues settled in Italy, or is that you still have to go back for more of that? Over.
No, I would say I have got them settled, but so my dad is actually coming over next week, so it would be good to have him here. I don't think I'll do much radio once he's here. He'll be here for a couple of weeks through Thanksgiving, and then together with him I'm going back to Germany and then Italy.
Okay, very good. Let me answer, Jim. I got it, Jim. Roger, 5-2, Roger, 5-2, Jim, over. Okay. he works Santa Barbara at about 8 o'clock and then comes back in here and tells me that he worked him. I can't hear Santa Barbara from here. I got a blockage. I would normally be able to work it, but I have a hill right in the way. The only hill that blocks me in any direction, and it's right towards Santa Barbara. Hi. Anyway, we have Steve down there in Santa Barbara, W6QIW, and he's back and functioning. He works almost all the bands here with Jim, W6PQL. Anyway, okay, on your dad coming over, that's good news. Is he planning on staying, or is he just coming over for a visit, over?
Just for a visit, just for a couple of weeks. He'll be here for Thanksgiving, and then we leave the Saturday of Thanksgiving. So, yeah, it would be good to have him here.
Oh, that'll be great. That'll be great. Does he speak English?
Oh, yeah. Very fluently. He took me to U.S. when I was a kid. We were in the East Coast for a couple of years before we moved back. So I did a couple of years of elementary school here in U.S. back in the East Coast. That's why I held on to the two in my call sign, I guess.
Yeah, Roger. Okay. Oh, very good. Well, I'm glad your dad does. That's a good therapy for him. You know, it's tough to have a partner pass away, but it's also tough. It's good to get a change of venue. So coming out and visiting you, I'm sure that'll help him out mentally and all. And he'll get a chance to see how you're all set up out here. Very good. Mark, I'm not going to keep it. I'm going to let you go, but what a pleasure to have you in here on 1296 and good copy, even with the 10 watts. There is a 600-watt amplifier that's available. It's set up for running about 300 watts right now, but it is a W6PQL amp that's for sale. It belonged to a guy down in the LA area that passed away just recently, and it was up at the flea market this last weekend. But it's kind of well, I wouldn't say it's a basket case, but it's not clean. It's an amplifier that's been tacked together. All the pieces are there, and it functions, and it puts out, I think he was running it at 28 volts, but it can be run at 50. And at 50 volts, it puts out about 600. At 28 volts, I think he was running about 300 watts out of it, but that would be something that, I don't know if you want to get into that. It does require you to have a little bit of skill with wires and probably putting it into a better chassis. It's just kind of pieced together in a box. It's almost breadboard, if you will. But it works, it functions, and he used it for several months and had great signals up this way from his place near Long Beach. Anyway, just a thought. If you're interested, let me know, and I'll have somebody send over the appropriate information to you. KT2G for your final, Mark. Great to hear you, K6MYC.
Yeah, so interesting. Yes, I'm not scared about building, right? I'm a builder myself. The only thing is that I might not have all the tuning, let's say the tuning equipment. If tuning is needed, I have none of that for 1296. But, you know, when it comes to putting things in a box, cleaning them up, wiring them appropriately, and maybe even building a dedicated power supply, that's certainly within my means. Yeah, you said it's PQL has it. Over.
No, it's a W6 PQL pallet. The transistor and the RF deck is all W6 PQL. So, of course, Jim could help you with it as well if there was any questions about it. No, it's currently at WA60IB's place, and you could drop him a call. I'm pretty sure he's okay. I think it's Ken. Oh, for God's sake, Ken8. I'm not sure what his email address is anymore, but I can have, if you're okay in the call book, I can have Ken send you a details on it if you want me to do that. Over.
Yeah, I'm good on QSA. Did you say W6 OIB?
Yeah, WA6 Ocean India Bravo, Old Indian Blanket. And he's good in the call book forever. That's Ken Holden. He lives about in Clovis here, just about 10 miles south of me. And he was a very good friend with Joe Cadwallader, who passed away. And he went down and organized his stuff for the XYL down there, and then brought it back up. And we had a flea market last Saturday on November 9 in the Fresno area, and all the stuff sold very quickly except for this amp. No, you don't need to do any tuning. It's all tuned. It's pre-tuned and all that. All you have to do is probably clean up the wiring. It's on a heat sink, but the box that it sits on, it's just kind of sitting on a chassis. And there's some wiring underneath, and it's got a homebrew sequencer, which you may or may not need. If you don't put a preamp with it, you don't even need the sequencer. But it probably uses a sequencer to give you it turns the bias on and off and gets the transistor ready to go. But it's pretty straightforward. You could take the homebrew bias and control circuitry out, and just get the one that W6 PQL sells. He has one that's pre-made, and you could get his unit to go with it, and then you'd have most of the stock parts that were built into Jim's amplifiers. I'm using one of them here, but it's a complete housed package, and this one is not. That's just a bare heat sink with a device sitting out on top, and a big heat sink and a fan, and it comes with the power supply if you want it. So I would imagine you'd want to buy the power supply. It's a switcher, and it's clean, and it probably puts out 50 volts at 50 amps at the very least. Over.
Okay, yes. So I have WA6OIB here on the QSZ. I see he has an email. I can write directly. I can tell him that you send me. And we can take it from there. Let's see what kind of work needs to be done. Yeah, thanks for the tip.
Okay, well again, it's functioning as it sits. It's just ugly because it's it's kind of pieced together and it's not bolted up into any kind of a chassis or anything. It's just pieces, but they're all wired together and it's functioning. Ken9, K-E-N, then the number 9 at pipeline.com. I think that's Ken9 at pipeline.com is his email address. It finally popped into my head. Does that look right?
It is exactly right.
Okay, so I would drop him a quick note, tell him you talked to me, and maybe he can shoot you some pictures and a little bit more detail on it. I'm sure he'll be responsive. So, and he'll give you a general idea. The module by itself is $750. And he wants a bit more for it than that, but not much. Over.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll take a look at it. I'll be happy to take a look at it. Yeah, thanks for the tip.
Okay. Good luck, and hopefully, well, you put that on here, you'll be king of the Bay Area. I can tell you that from your location with your 10 watts. You're going to be crushing people over here. That's great. All right, Mark, 7-3. And just drop Ken a quick note and tell him you talked to me about the K6 Zulu Mike Whiskey, K6 ZMW 1296 amp. That was Joe Cadwallader's call sign, K6 Zulu Mike Whiskey ZMW. And good guy, very talented. He just was in his last legs, I think, or in his last stages, and just threw the amplifier together to get it on the air. I worked him several times with it. And it worked fine, It's all functioning, like I say. It's just not pretty. And it scared a lot of people at the flea market. Oh my God, it's not that bad. I'm over exaggerating. It's not put together as a final package. That's all. You could do it easily, I'm sure, based on what you just told me. No tuning required. All right, 7-3 Mark. Good evening. K22G, K6MYC.
K6
Okay, well, thank you, Mike. Thank you for that. I hope to catch you in the air, maybe on 2 meters down later in the week. Thank you. Have a good night. 7-3, K22G.
Yeah, and Ken should be on here tomorrow too. So if you had questions, you could talk to him directly, take him off frequency, and I'm sure he can hear you. He's got a great station in Clovis here. So he'll be on tomorrow on 2 meters, and I'll be operating from this same chair I'm in now, but a different amplifier. Hi. 7-3. Now, let's see. We still had Kevin in here. Kevin, have you tried to follow this conversation at all? Kevin probably dropped off. Aaron, are you still here?
Yeah, I was going to tell you that KE6ILX, I believe, Bozo 96 was in the chat. He was a little late up in Grass Valley. Apparently he could hear you when you were pointed, at Nevada. But, of course, I went and pulled up his call sign, and he expired last month. So hopefully he got the, I told him in the chat that he expired last month, so he needs to get on the FCC website and renew his license. But KE6ILX was hearing you up in Grass Valley.
Okay, well, let's just check him out. I'm sure I would have heard him if I tried harder there. So check him in. 96 is his Bozo number. And his license expired last month. And did you tell him that?
Yeah, I told him that in the chat, and then I also shot him an email. So hopefully he'll see that, and he can get in there and get that taken care of, and pay him the $35 he needs to pay him for the next 10 years.
I'm sure he can handle that. Okay, very good. Thanks for that. And let's see if Rob ever got back upstairs. How about it, Rob?
Oh, yeah, I've been here the whole time, over.
You did what?
I have been here the whole time, over.
Oh, I called you in several times and you didn't respond.
You mean after I checked in with you and you had me change my frequency?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. What about frequency?
You said you called me several times. Was that after you had me change my frequency, over?
Oh, yeah, we talked. No, I called you just when I was done with the net here. I called Aaron and you, and I was still pointed toward Nevada, which I still am. No, I'm sorry, I'm pointed now back toward the Bay Area. But I was pointed toward Nevada, and I was just trying to kill a little time waiting to see if those guys were going to come up out of the noise in Nevada, over.
Okay, yeah, when you went up there, I lost signal on you. I couldn't hear you at all, over.
Really? I'll be darned. That was about 8:15 to 8:20. Okay, well, that's probably what was wrong. Your signals are way down tonight, so maybe something's gone wrong with the 1296 station. Rob, Aaron, does he sound normal to you?
No, he's really weak into your station. I mean, even with you pointed at the Bay Area, yeah, I would think he'd be a lot stronger.
Did you copy that, Rob?
No, I can't hear Aaron at all either, over.
You got something wrong then. Maybe you're on the wrong antenna or something. Aaron's in here fine. But I think you're pointed toward the Bay Area. Are you pointed to the Bay Area?
No, I'm pointed down to where I should read Aaron, over.
You're pointed where?
Yeah, Mike, I can barely hear him down here.
I didn't hear what he said, Aaron. You guys are doubling. Say it again, Aaron.
Yeah, I can barely hear Rob down here.
Yeah, something's not right, Rob. The amp isn't kicking in or something there, over.
Yeah, I see the meter go on the amp, but I was listening to you, and all of a sudden you just immediately dropped down about half your signal, so something's wrong. I don't know what it is, over.
Okay. Well, just to give you a heads up, I don't think it's here because I'm hearing Mark and the other guys. All okay, normal stuff. All righty. 73. I'm going to get out of here and go get some dinner. It's 8:30. I was going to be all done by 8:45, but 8:15, but I didn't make it. I'm getting hungry. See you guys tomorrow. K6USY and all K6MYC. Good evening.
Good night, Mike. K6USY, Delta Mike 06.
7-3.
Hey, Mike, what's your count? And I got to go pick the wife up, so I won't get the list out for a while. Over.
Okay, let me see if I can count. I'll do my best to do a count here. Hang on.
Yeah, I missed some of them in the beginning there. The first one I heard was Bill talking away there, then you went to 285. Over.
I think I got 19 counting me.
Okay, I may have to listen to the stream then. K6MYC, KM6SR, 73.
Okay, well, you'll miss one or two on the stream because some of the guys I couldn't hear. 96 was Jeff. I did not hear him on the stream. He was on the chat room. And he was there, but I guess I didn't hear him when he was trying to call in. And we did work 759, KR6MR. We did not work anybody else. We did work K6WIS 2 times, both direct path and bounce path. And then we had quite a selection of people from the Bay Area, almost everybody in there from the Bay Area except for Ed, WA6AXX. But KB6BA was in, Jim, JNN, PQL was there. AA6S was here, and he did call back and said he worked Ralph, so you got to put number 3 in there also for Ralph. He did never hear WA6AAJ. He never checked in, so we had very light check-ins from this over here in the valley. Over.
Okay, I guess maybe I got most of was 1100 in there also?
Was who?
1100, Brittany, was she in there also?
Yes, that's what he said. He said she was riding herd in the background. And we did get Kevin over there in Gilroy, WA6JKN 1093, I think.
1053, I got him.
Okay. Well, you're close.
Yeah, tell Rob to get 1296 over to his 9700. Get it over to the other radio.
Yeah. Rob, he wants you to get 1296 on the ICOM 9700 as soon as you can. Over.
Yeah, well, that'll take a whole redesign of my station setup because I don't have room to put the amp over there where the 1297 is. Over.
Okay. Can't do it easily, Aaron. Doesn't look like it's going to take place anytime in the near future.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I heard. I just keep bugging him about it. Every time he has problems on this band, I just bug him about getting onto the newer radio.
That's much better ears too. Okay. Good night, all. I'm out of here, and we'll see you tomorrow. K6USY, WA6, KR6MR. No, that's not right. KM6SRR. Too many R's and M's and S's these days. K6MYC. Good night, all.
All right. Good night, Mike, and good night to everybody on YouTube. K6USY.